Look who got the cowboy shirt on today.
Oh, please.
You were texting me all yesterday like, oh, they cheating. Pittsburgh Steelers cheating. They were in Cowboy Stadium. Oh, they were in Giant Stadium. But how they still cheating? How are they cheating? But it was close. I knew, I said that. Pittsburgh put bulletin board material when they said 8-0 last week. When you said that last week, I'm like, you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. And they damn near lost that game. What you got to say, Cowboys?
Hey, you know what? It was a hell of an effort. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted for them. Fourth string quarterback, right there in the mix. All I wanted is their effort. And, you know, hey, it's what it is. All I'm saying is, I have heard, and you guys have been witness to this. You heard about Cowboys always getting calls every week. We got certain people saying they get all the damn calls. Every week they change the calls. This week, there's a few.
What did they get?
What
calls did Pittsburgh get?
Okay, so I'm not trying to be there. I'm not gonna go there. I'm trying to go there with you, but I'm gonna go there with you. Think about it. In the red zone, the interception. When they ran the play back, there was holding and defensive pass interference. He clearly obstructed the receiver from getting to the ball. Normally, that's always called, especially late in the game. But then it's an interception, and everybody glorifying the 8-0 Pittsburgh Steelers, which is cool. And then some of the other things later, as Dallas on defense, some of the calls that usually are let go, all of a sudden they're called. It's okay. Like I said, I'm never one to complain about calls or anything like that because it's a game. It is what it is. But I've sat back for years and heard people complain about Dallas. Now I know what they're talking about. I'm on the other end. I'm on the other end. So now, but it's okay though, because most people that have been saying this have been angry because they've been hating because Dallas been winning over the years. I got that. It's their time. They're on the bottom. I'm good with that. But I'm just saying, huh?
What years they've been winning?
I mean, they've been in the past. Oh, for real? Are you really gonna do this? Who you rolling with? Are you really gonna do this right now? Who you rolling with this week?
Well, all I got to Big Ben said it best. Big Ben said it best.
Who you with? Pittsburgh?
That Pittsburgh was, in the house, in that stadium. He said Dallas might be America's team, but Pittsburgh is the world's team.
Yeah, okay. That sounds cool, Ben. Great. Okay. That's cool. Okay. Anybody that really know football, I mean, right now you can say that. You ain't win the Super Bowl, then come see me. Then we'll talk about the world. You got to win the damn Super Bowl first. I'm just saying. It's all good. I ain't mad. I'm just stating some facts, some things that are out there. Win the Super Bowl, man. Win the Super Bowl. Since everything you back, come off your little situation, whatever you're dealing with. Now you back, and everybody winning, you ain't win the Super Bowl. Then I'll be the first one to go, I was wrong, this and that. You don't win the Super Bowl, it's just noise. It's just noise. You might as well be in Cleveland. Anyway.
Brother Raccoon, you pretty quiet.
I think the Cowboy fan deserve to have the air, because the whole year just figured the Cowboys haven't had much to really talk about. So, I wanted to kind of kick back. I think this, man. I am impressed that they battled yesterday, the Cowboys battle. I am impressed with that because I kind of thought they was going to lay down this game. They just kind of lay down. I thought they lay down for the season for the most part, but they battled. But I think it shows a little bit about Pittsburgh to me is that they're not ready to claim that yet because you got to go in and put the Cowboys away by halftime.
Yeah.
You got to go in there, take them by the neck, and put them away at halftime. They got a fourth, seventh-string quarterback. There's no way.
Why weren't they blitzing? I couldn't understand. Why weren't they blitzing?
Yeah, you cannot go in there and play them like they're playing with a full squad. And that's what says to me they're just not ready, but they're just, they're winning some games, but they're just not there yet because they don't have that mentality. They're talking it a little bit, but don't have that mentality. Because I looked at the score, man. I didn't really pay close attention to the game. For some reason, it wasn't even showing that game much on the red. It wasn't paying attention. I don't know why. But it wasn't showing too much on the Red Zone channel. Maybe it wasn't scoring too much. Anyway, I'll just say this from Pittsburgh's mentality, bro. When you're 7-8-0, you demolish teams, bro. You don't allow teams like the Cowboys to hang around. Put your stamp on the game early, and then you can sit Ben down if you want to a little while. But you don't go in there and play and then pull it out in the end.
Yeah. I wanted to watch the other game that was going on at the same time, Miami and the Cardinals, but I'm like, I'm afraid to turn from this because I don't know what's going to happen. But that was a hell of a game with those two quarterbacks, Murray and Tua. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. If that's a peek at the future, wow. Wow. I wouldn't even mind somewhere along the line seeing them in the Super Bowl the way they played that game yesterday. That would be like an exciting Super Bowl. And then once again, a kicker ruins it. At the end.
Oh, I'll say this, man. I don't know if you want to. I look at Miami, and let me just go this first. Go here first. It's amazing now in this league how height for quarterbacks don't even matter anymore. For years, the prototypical quarterback had to be 6'1", 6'2", whatever. And you look at these two quarterbacks you just spoke of, Tua, and you look at the quarterback for Arizona, not the tallest, but you can't defend them, bro. Their accuracy, the way they run around. And it just makes me wonder and ponder a little bit, how many quarterbacks in the past never got a fair shake based on their height? Forget their talent. Scouts just basically saw them as not fitting a certain prototype and avoided them, and overlooked a lot of talent that could have been NFL and could have been doing some things, to where you look at it now, it's like it's the culture is leaning that way, and these guys are balling, bro, balling.
Well, they gave Drew Brees a shot, and he's supposed to be smaller than the typical quarterback, but
even after that, it was hard for other quarterbacks with this height or less than his height to make it to the NFL. They wouldn't even think about it. They wouldn't even give him a shot.
Johnny Manziel, you got
that was a fluke.
Mayfield.
That was a fluke. He's another fluke. Baker Mayfield and Johnny Manziel came at a time when the tide was turning a little bit. Those two quarterbacks basically rode the coattail of Russell Wilson, in my opinion. They came in because they seen at that time Russell really kind of, in my opinion, opened the door and kicked the door in, because no one saw Russell Wilson coming. They just didn't. When Seattle grabbed him, they saw them when he came into their camp. But prior to then, no one saw him. The way he played for the first 2-3 years, that's when scouts starting to look at it more, and the door got open more and cranked over more. Now it's just basically wide open. But prior to my opinion, prior to Russell, I'm not even going to count Drew Brees, because Drew Brees wasn't expected to do much in this league, bro. To me, he just landed in Miami. I watched him play in Purdue. He was nothing special. I mean, height, no height. He was nothing special. He kind of just landed and took advantage of a great opportunity when he got to New Orleans. But from a true aspect of seeing a quarterback that can run at that height, pass well at that height, and see over defenders, Russell, to me, was the one that broke the type and just said, you know what? Our quarterbacks this height can really play in this league. Excuse me. And some of these quarterbacks are benefiting from it now. We're starting to see that they can handle it.
Welcome to the First 40 Sports Show with the Goon Squad. It is I, Puma, along with Black, Thor, and Ice Water. I'm going to start out with the NFL eye test in Week 9. Ice, what'd you see?
I'm not even gonna go where I wanted to start. I'm gonna go somewhere else. Seattle versus Buffalo. Buffalo showed that they really had a game. That might have been their Super Bowl. I mean, we'll see. You know, they're all up and down, but the way that they handled Seattle, jumped out to the lead and kept pressing down on the gas, and there's no way Seattle could come back. That's probably the most perfect game I've seen from Buffalo in a long time. And they deserved it. They won it fair and square. So we'll see if they can play off of that and move forward with that in the rest of the season. But that was interesting there. And I gotta say this, even though you wouldn't think I'm gonna talk about the Cowboys, I'm not right now.
Go ahead, man. This is
nah, bro. I got this. I'm good. You gonna try to make me like I'm irrational. That's why you want to. No. That's why you put that little recording on. But since we got the recording on, I'm going to do this for you. How about them damn New York Giants? Yeah! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's amazing. You just think about that, but what I find interesting about that, it was a close game. New York tried. They played real hard. Washington did lose their quarterback. They put in Alex Smith. And he tried, but I think that's a feel good story. and I wish him the best. But it's just clear that he still needs some work. And I think it also shows, just watching this from the eye test, I know a lot of people want to say, and you can say if you want to, you can say Dwayne Haskins is a bust. He's no good, anything like that too. But that team they're missing some pieces. They're struggling as a team. And you want to just put it on Dwayne Haskins, he's garbage, get all that. But at the same time, the guy that just got hurt, and then Alex Smith, like I said, he's a great story. The fact that he's even on the team, still on the field and playing, period, is great. But he still threw 3 picks. 3 picks, and they could not win the game. So I think it's more to that Washington story that people want to really want to acknowledge. So, and that's good there too. But again, the Miami game, as you mentioned, was great. And then again, like I just said, I'm just going to reiterate that I was impressed by the Dallas Cowboy effort. That's all I was looking for. As somebody that has admired them over the years, and then from an analyst standpoint, I was impressed by the effort. Pittsburgh came in 8-0. As you mentioned, Black Thor, they're supposed to crush the Cowboys. This is a team you say going to the Super Bowl. Everybody's telling them how great they are and everything. And Dallas stood up. They stood up. 4th-string quarterback, saw some plays, made some plays. Was it perfect? Not at all. But to me, the effort was hellified. It was hellified. I'm not saying they're trying to win the Super Bowl or going anywhere to even make the playoffs. But the fact that this is what I think is, and I'm going to get off this real quick. This is what I find ironic about fans, and I'm going to use my fandom right now, that fans of certain teams, they jump off them when they win and when they're losing. But this is what it really is all about. If you really are about your team, you really care about your team from back in the day, when I've been watching them for so long, you recognize when they give a hell of an effort. And then the point of it is, you talk about wins and losses and all these memes. I find that hilarious because, like you said, again, most people that come with the memes and stuff like that are pissed off because of what the Cowboys have done in the past. And you can say, when have they won again? Name me some teams how many teams have really won the Super Bowl? Can we just do that? Well, we ain't gonna do that because see, that's hate. That's just people think you frustrated. Nah, the records speak for themselves. Super Bowls speak for themselves. There are always others that are trying to move up the ladder. There are some that have in that unique air that have won multiple times. But it's all good. Like I said, whole point of it is. So it's all right. But them New York Giants, and we're gonna leave it right there. That's all I got for that.
All right, Black Thor, what's your eye test?
I'm gonna say this. I was, they kind of show a little bit of the Giants as they're in the red zone. The Giants are battling. They're not a good team. They're unfocused at times and they're a little undisciplined. Not a little, a lot undisciplined. But when they kind of play, they play some teams well for periods of time. I'm going to focus on the coach of the Washington football team, whatever you want to call him. He's not a good football coach, bro. Because I watched the team that he left yesterday for a good period of time. The Carolina Panthers. They gave the Kansas City Chiefs everything they wanted and still could have won that game. So you tell me, you take a coach that came from Baylor, somewhere else, comes in and kind of almost take the same team you have, make a few adjustments, kind of move some things out the way. And this team is taking the Super Bowl champions well deep into a couple of last seconds into the game. You can't coach, bro. They should fire you immediately. Haskins, whatever the case may be, Ron Rivera is past his prime. When you go, take the Dallas Cowboy coach with you. They're a bunch of has-beens. I don't even know what they saw, these two teams, and hiring them. Because right now, if you look around the league, some of the teams are doing well. They have coaches maybe on their first time around, and the teams are buying into what they're doing, and they're winning. Some of these has-been coaches have been kind of recycled. Ron Rivera, the Cat and Dallas Cowboys, what you got? I'm going to jump to the Denver Broncos, man, because Denver Broncos have something. They got something going on there, man. They got a will about them where they just don't die. They may not win a lot of games, but they're coming. And I think they may have found their quarterback. That's hard to say because I know for a period of time we gave John Elway a tough time, but they may have found their quarterback with this cat here, man. He can sling a little bit. I was impressed with Jacksonville. I thought Jacksonville, even though they didn't win, I didn't think there would be anything like they were in the field yesterday, bro. And they put up a fight. And like Ice was saying, you admire a team that plays with effort and fights to win. That's Jacksonville. But I gotta speak a little bit about the New Orleans Saints because you and I was talking about this a little while ago. New Orleans Saints has some deep-hated love for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now, bro. Because they don't play no one. No one is hard, focused, and give the effort they give when they play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. I watched them just about every game they play. They've been up and down with their effort. They fight. They do not lose some games. Drew Brees played better when he's up against Tom Brady for whatever it is. And I don't know what Tampa Bay was doing yesterday, but they showed me that he could be there for the next 3-4 years. They're not winning the Super Bowl. They can go get Drew Hill, Drew from whoever from the old Cowboys, number 80, and bring him back. Antonio Brown was out there. So what? Gronk is out there. So what? You got a bunch of teams that this cat helped to have put together. They let him play general manager now, as opposed to playing quarterback. He's bringing in all these players in, and it's just not working, in my opinion. Not in games that they should be showing. It's just not working. Minnesota has found a recipe to win games, bro. That quarterback Cook, if he can stay healthy, they have found the recipe. I think I texted you this yesterday. Russell Wilson, I love you, bro. But stop trying to win the MVP. It's not going to be yours. It's just not going to be yours. I've never seen Russell play as bad as he played yesterday. You can say Buffalo defense was good, but this cat was doing some uncharacteristic things throughout the entire whole game. This had me scratching my head. Maybe Sarah's pregnant again. He doesn't want to have another child. Or maybe Sarah's out on the road. I don't know what it is. But Russell was not Russell yesterday, bro. That was not him. I mean, he played a horrible game. I mean, he was falling back, throwing the ball up for grabs. I'm like, what is he doing? So I have no idea what's going on. And I will say this and get out of the way. And I took this team too. The Colts, you got to bench your quarterback. Rivers' years is all done, bro.
No,
it's
no.
done. Yeah, you got to bench him. It's just his style of play, his playing. His style of playing, his playing is done in NFL. You got to move on. And Detroit Lions, I said a couple weeks ago they was thinking about firing their coach, and he won a few games. Yeah, they're gonna be firing him soon. They're gonna be firing that cat soon. He ain't gonna make it much longer, man. That team is back to who they thought they were. The sad thing about them, in 2 weeks, they'll be the first team in the first game we watch on Thanksgiving. That's the only worst thing about Detroit. We're gonna see them again, bro.
Yeah. And I'm afraid that the Los Angeles Chargers coach not gonna make it either. I mean,
no, we
haven't figured this out yet.
No.
Come on, man. Every week you're losing in the last. No, you're not gonna make it, because at some particular point you got to make the adjustment. You got to figure out what's not going right, and do something about it. And from week to week to week, it's really bad. Tennessee and Chicago. A lot of people are saying that it's Nick Foles' fault. I don't see that. Chicago has no offensive line and no receivers. No offensive line and no receivers. Even though they did a good job on Henry, keeping them from running, but Tannehill came in and did his thing and got them the victory in Tennessee. So, I don't think it's Nick Foles' fault. And I think they put in Trubisky last week and he hurt his shoulder. So, but Ice, you and I were talking about this with Taysom Hill from New Orleans. I want to throw this up in the air. And I know you and I are talking about this. Yeah, I'm going to throw this up in the air. Do you think a GM or a coach is sitting around saying, you know what? If we get Tim Tebow in that same position that Hill is in New Orleans, maybe Tim Tebow can come back and help us win football games. Your thoughts, man? I know you're sipping on them Gatorade.
You're wrong. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to get you. May not be today when I'm going to get you. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe, but as I mentioned to you off air, I think that what Hill's doing is impressive to a point. But I think if you have a little bit more film on him, he won't be doing those things anymore because it's more predictable. And I know I'm about to get in trouble, but it is what it is. I don't know how much more room there is in the NFL for mobile white quarterbacks. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. I just don't, because one, they're fast to a point, but I think they're more predictable. As much as you talk about Hill, but can Hill run a team? If he could, I think he'd be on the squad. I mean, we tried that. They tried that Tim Tebow experiment. You bring Tim Tebow back again. I mean, that's done, right? Can he throw a pass? But I think that's the whole point of him being predictable. And I'm not sure that's available. It might, but you say gimmicky, but after a while, couple weeks, you go, okay, we know he's going over here. It's kind of cute because everybody's excited by it. He makes a couple plays, but you get into the playoffs, in games that count, can he still make those plays? So, I mean, that's all I'm saying. I might be wrong about that, and I might be feeling some kind of way, but when I thought about mobile quarterbacks back in the day, particularly that were not of color, I thought about the Roger Staubachs. I thought about Fran Tarkenton, guys that really earned their keep. They made things happen. They just didn't go, they weren't gimmicky, that kind of thing. And I think it takes more than being able to run the football and the pass a little bit and do some little things like jumping over people to be a true NFL quarterback and be successful. I might be wrong about that, but how much longer can the gimmick go? It's kind of like for a while the NFL teams, because the defense started catching up to them, they stopped running Wildcat. Remember every time it's Wildcat, every time you turn around, oh, we're doing the Wildcat this week. And teams had never tried it before doing Wildcat, but after a while, defenses caught on. And okay, all I'm saying is, if Hill is great as they say, I like to see him end up as a quarterback in some team. I might be totally wrong about this. I'm just speaking out about what I think I see.
Black, I got to believe that as much as we heard about Tim Tebow when he was in the league, I mean, ESPN was just following Tim Tebow with a camera all the time. I got to believe that there's some GM or coach saying, you know what, the way New Orleans is using Hill, maybe we can use Tebow the same way.
There's a big distinction between the two, and I'll break it down for you. One, Tebow never wanted to play receiver. He only wanted to play quarterback. They tried to put him in tight end. He didn't want to. He made it clear, I'm just playing quarterback. I'm not playing nothing else. And that's just right. Hill is not necessarily a good quarterback, but he can play the position and move the ball down the field, bro. He runs pretty much a very good route. And one thing I've noticed is that it's quiet, and nobody said this yet, but cornerbacks are scared to touch him and guard him. If you looked at him the past 3 weeks, he ran an outplay 2 weeks ago and cut. There was 2 guys double teaming him. You know how close they were to him when he ran his route? 4 or 5 yards off from him, bro. They have no intentions on tackling him. And I said something about the playoffs. I'm going to tell you this now. I watched New Orleans in the playoffs last year. When they brought him in, they moved the ball and they were scoring. And Sean Payton, if he just would have left him in the game, they would have won that playoff game last year, bro. The team rallied around him when he was playing quarterback. Now, I'm not saying he's ready to go in the center or be in the shotgun majority period of time, but he's a good change of pace, and he elevates that offense when he comes in, bro. He brings him excitement. He brings him energy. And again, cornerbacks, and safeties do not want to go near him. They avoid him. Back in the day, a Tim Tebow or someone like that would have got lit up. Just mere fact, you're trying to come in and establish something. They are, for whatever reason, they watched him closely. They are afraid of him. When he goes down, majority of the time, it's a linebacker or it's a defensive lineman that rush down the field that comes in on a tackle. Cornerbacks are running from him like little girls. So I think I watched him, bro. He's not a quarterback. He can't go anywhere and be a quarterback, but he's with the right person. And I just think he need to utilize him more as a receiver, a run end around receiver on an end around play, and they have something special. Tim Tebow doesn't have an arm. He's not a quarterback. Even if you brought him in and try to do this, it's not going to work with him. He doesn't have the skill. He doesn't have the skill or the agility to move and run like this cat does, man. This cat, when he starts to run and move, he runs with power. He spins. He's something dynamic, bro. I mean, he just is what it is. It's good to watch, but not that you can take him out of that system and you put him behind the court, put him behind and force him to be a quarterback. He's not going to work either. Not for a whole game. It's not going to happen. So any general manager that's out there thinking, I can bring Tim Tebow, you putting your job on the line. There's a reason why Tim Tebow fell to the Jets and nobody wanted him, bro. There's a reason why. So be dumb enough if you want to, but your job would not be what it is for a long period of time if you make that decision.
Let's do something new here, and I'm springing this on the guys here. Who gets a game ball this week, Ice?
Wow. I'd have to say I'm going to give it to the Miami Dolphins. Just because, Tua, it was last week we saw the Miami Dolphins, or the week before, their team overall was kind of a team victory, but Tua kind of came along, and I think they kind of support him with that, and they played against a very good Arizona team that's hungry as well. So you got 2 young quarterbacks, 2 teams trying to move forward. I think that was a major step for Miami. Miami, the football team.
All right, Black, who gets the game ball?
I got to give it to Cook, bro. I have to give it to Cook, because this cat is carrying Minnesota's basically done, dead. It's a possibility that they may make the playoffs based on if he can stay healthy. He is carrying him in that front line is carrying the Vikings, man. When that cat's running, somebody want to tackle him. He is he's something else, bro. He's something else. I'm gonna definitely give that to Cook.
Yeah, since you took mine, Cook ran for 22 attempts, 206 yards, 2 touchdowns. But then my second one, or my 2 second ones, are Allen from Buffalo, threw for 415 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Diggs, who had 9 receptions and 118 yards for that victory over Seattle. And Seattle's defense is they got to fix that. There's no more Legion of Doom. They got to fix that because I could see why Russell was trying to score a lot of points because they were just running through Seattle's defense. And Allen, we were saying weeks before, Allen was that guy that make you pull your hair out, but not yesterday. He looked like he's ready for prime time. Let's go to college football, and we have a new number 1. And I was texting Ice about this during the game against Notre Dame. And it was at halftime. I said, the fix is in. But I'm not going to go there with Notre Dame. They beat a team. I'm not going to go there with Notre Dame. They beat a team with a missing quarterback and like 3 or 4 defensive players on Clemson. What I am going to get on is that Dabo makes some real head-scratching decisions during games that I think cost them the Notre Dame game. And I warned last week in last week's show, I warned Clemson. You come to Notre Dame, you're not going to have good food. You're not going to have a comfortable locker room. It gets into your head. And Book really played a good game in that game. Black, I'm going to turn it over to you. Your college football eye test.
I'm going to stay with that game and stay with that game only, man, because I know you don't want to give it to Notre Dame. I know. But they are where they are, bro.
Yeah.
They are where they are. And I'm not sure if Clemson is going to get back to where they were. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure. I know there's even without the quarterback, they're still a pretty good team, but I'm just not sure. They needed to win this game, bro. They just did. And I'm not sure when their quarterback is Trevor Lawrence is coming back. But at some point, Notre Dame, I mean, you look at their ranking, you go, okay, especially this year, to me, the rankings this season doesn't seem like it'll equate too much. But then again, when you beat a team, no matter who's their quarterback, because for some reason they put that quarterback back there thinking he can play, you have to kind of respect that they got the win. They went overtime and they got it. And Notre Dame's have talent. It's not like they're void of talent. So I'm not predicting them to go to number 1, but if they can do some things and maintain where they are, they're going to be there when it's all said and done. They're going to be there. Not that I'm happy about it, but I'm just saying there's a good possibility they're going to be there. I think Clemson, this year might have a tough time, man, because what I noticed with going back to the NFL, I think even, looking at Cam Newton, when Cam Newton came back from, having what he had, he wasn't the same, bro. So you got to look at Trevor Lawrence and thinking that when he comes back, he may not just pick up and go right away, just kind of go strong after having the virus. So I think Clemson's in trouble. I think they really are in trouble, bro.
Ice, if ever The Ohio State University will be my favorite team, if they get in the playoffs and Notre Dame's in the playoffs and just beat the snot out of Notre Dame, I'm hoping that happens. But there's another team in the Big Ten. There are a couple of teams in the Big Ten that you might want to speak on. Indiana beating Michigan, and goodbye Harbaugh, because Indiana put it on Michigan. Indiana's ranked, even though they're ranked number 13, and Michigan's ranked number 23, they should be put out the top 25. And then Northwestern is beating teams in the Big Ten. So it seems like everything other than Ohio State is upside down with the Big Ten.
Yeah, it's a lot of movement going around. A lot of teams are taking advantage of situations. You look at how Maryland rose to the occasion and really did what they did versus Penn State. That was kind of a shocker to me, but they're kind of up and down as well. But Indiana over Michigan was huge because Indiana hasn't beaten Michigan in years.
Yeah.
The way that they beat them soundly showed you that Indiana might be turning the corner. And it's that kind of year. And I'm not using that as an excuse, but when you play games and it's like 9 straight weeks or whatever, then different things can happen. So, but still, you take advantage of what you do when the opportunity is there. And so they can win during this time. That's what you're supposed to do. Northwestern has shown that they're very gritty, they're tough, they have a decent running attack, and they're playing hard, and then they're winning games. That's very impressive too. Also, too, that let me get back to that Notre Dame Clemson game. What I find ironic though is because I know, we've been pumping Clemson up, and they've been winning, and they won a championship or two, duly noted. But I think when they lost their quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, they have the backup is outstanding. He really is. I mean, I like him. He's young, but he's making plays, and they were moving along. But I think that it's in a way they kind of feel like, they're like it's 1A, 1B versus like Alabama, right? Alabama lose their quarterback, they bring in some guy and they just keep rolling. Everybody's, oh yes, Alabama, and what they have done in the years, they've been just keep rolling. But in this particular scenario, Notre Dame, this might be one of their best teams. It just might be one of the best teams in a long time. And unfortunately for them, it's happening during this COVID situation where they really could not bang out against some of the top tier teams. But when they won that game, they kept making plays. And Clemson's no slouch. I know we can always say, oh, you lost this player or a player or two. But I think Notre Dame came to play. They played hard. They wanted it more. It seemed as if they did by their effort, and that's what they got done. So we'll see what happens with Clemson. I do think Trevor Lawrence, when he comes back, he's going to be itching to get back. So we'll see how it affects them. But they still might end up meeting Notre Dame again if they both make it to the conference championship. That's the game I like to see with Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. I like to see that rematch. That would be good. Another team, too, that I'm looking at is even though you might question the level of competition, is Cincinnati. Cincinnati has just been rolling. They look very good, have a decent quarterback. They are hyped up on defense. They play very aggressive. I'm not sure how far they're going to go, if they're going to be able to make it in the 4. If they go undefeated, there's a great chance they could go undefeated the rest of the way. I'm not sure if they will get in, but they're playing with a lot of oomph and a lot of vigor, and you just got to take your head off to them. So we'll see how that works out down the way. But the question is, will they get an opportunity if they win all their games in the playoff? And one of the things they're saying now, I saw this before, is that if they do replace Harbaugh, that one of the replacements considerations people should be Luke Fickell from Cincinnati. That would be interesting.
Wow. Okay. Well, we look at the top 25. Alabama is ranked number 1, followed by Notre Dame, Ohio State number 3, Clemson. They're saying the Alabama-LSU game may be canceled due to COVID this weekend. Number 5 is Texas A&M, quietly putting themselves in a position to get into the playoffs, followed by Florida, and also Cincinnati, ranked number 7. BYU moves up, ranked number 8. Miami of Florida, number 9. Indiana gets that 10th spot, followed by Oregon, Georgia, who fall 7 spots, Wisconsin, Oklahoma State, Coastal Carolina, number 15, Iowa State, Marshall and Iowa State, ranked number 17, Oklahoma at 18, SMU, really good team. I had a chance to see them. They're pretty good. USC outlasted Arizona State. I was watching that game, and Arizona State just let the game out, let the game just go in the last 2 minutes. It just hurt because I'm a big Herm Edwards fan, and just the way they lost. They had USC dead to rights, and they dropped one there. Texas finds its way in the top 25, ranked 21. Liberty, who won their game last week, are ranked number 22, followed by Northwestern, Auburn, and Louisiana. Any games that you're looking forward to seeing next week, Ice?
Yeah, I think I want to see, just because the way that they played, the team played their previous opponent. I want to see Boston College versus Notre Dame. Yeah, Boston College, kind of hung with Clemson for a while, and then things went kind of south for them. But I like to see Boston College because maybe Notre Dame will have a little hiccup and slip up a little bit, play down to a level competition, but maybe not, because they're pretty good right now, where they're feeling real good and they want to go far as they can. The other one, just because to see the way that Maryland handled Penn State, I think I'm going to take a peek at Ohio State versus Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland's been playing really good. Tua's brother, the quarterback there. Black, who are you looking forward to seeing this weekend?
That's it right there, the Ohio State Maryland game. Like you spoke to his brother. Also, if I'm not mistaken, man, their head coach, man, I think he's kind of gotten that program turned around a little bit. Been there for about a year, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm kind of really, I didn't think they was going to beat Penn State as soundly as they did. So that's the game I'll definitely check out.
Okay. I guess I want to check out. I want to see if Virginia Tech bounce back against University of Miami because I think Virginia Tech got slammed by Liberty, so they need to kind of get back in the ACC. I was looking forward to seeing the Alabama LSU game. Don't know if that's going to happen. I will peek in at Notre Dame and Boston College. That game should get a lot of press, and I'm kind of liking Florida. I want to see what they do. Even though they're playing Arkansas, I want to see if they can pound Arkansas and get higher in the rankings. And of course, you have Indiana versus Michigan State. That should be a good game. Let's see if Indiana is really, really, really for real. And I think that's it. Of course, the rivalry game, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, that should be a good game. And Black, I know you're going to be looking at Texas and Kansas just for the because I know you like Les Miles. I know you.
Sure.
Before we get to boxing, there are two fights that I got to see this weekend, and me and Ice will talk about that. But Gonzaga is ranked number 1 in the preseason picks in college basketball. Ice, I know that's been your team for the last few years. We've been doing our picks in March Madness. What do you think about them being ranked number 1?
I mean, it's good, but it's a little bit too much hype. I don't like teams I kind of secretly root for to be so high. They're that torch for the whole year. You know, you just glutton for punishment because sometimes you start thinking about, are you playing not to lose? But talent-wise, they're very loaded. They have the bigs, they have shooters. One thing I find interesting about this, and this is something that maybe started happening about 5-6 years ago, is the amount of like transfers that go out west now. So you'll see a guy from like Florida transfer to Gonzaga. You like, what? You never heard of that before, but now you're seeing guys just going to play because they want to win. So that coach, Mark Few's done a great job of gathering some players, and he always finds a way to get some international players, put them together, and he always has some way to find a 6'10", 7-footer. It's like they're like the land of the giants, along with Florida State. Like Leonard Hamilton always found a way to find like 4 7-footers on the team that can run and jump. You're like, the hell did you find them at? They weren't even ranked highly on the chart, but they're on the squad. So yeah, should be interesting. I'm looking forward to the season starting. I'm glad we're getting a little buzz about college basketball. I know you are too, but I'm ready for some games because they've been very quiet with this. I'm sitting around looking like, and I'll tell you this last thing very quickly. I heard somebody talking about Kansas and they might be decent this year. And then I heard somebody say, they were talking about, well, this might be the last year before those allegations really come to pass. I'm like, damn, what?
They always tease us. What happens?
What?
Tease us.
Why this year, right?
Yeah.
We've been waiting 4 years.
They've been teasing us for all those years, man. It's not going to happen.
If we're going to get Kansas, you got to get Arizona, right? We wait 4 years for something to happen. They think, well, this will probably be that last year before those allegations really take into effect. I'm like, what are you reading? Who do you know? And who do you know at the NCAA that's going to make a difference? If Kansas is decent and they got a decent squad, they're not going to be touched because they're not messing up March Madness. I don't care what you say. It's like saying you're going to put Duke on probation. They got the number 1 team in the country. You crazy? Not happening.
Let's go through the rankings. I'll go to you Black, about Gonzaga. But Gonzaga's ranked number 1. Baylor, number 2, followed by Villanova, Virginia, Iowa. Notice I didn't say Duke yet. Then Kansas, number 6, Wisconsin, Illinois, then Duke at number 9, Kentucky. You usually see the Blue Bloods up top, but Kentucky, number 10, Creighton, number 11, followed by Tennessee, Michigan State. I heard that Izzo came down with the Rona. Also Texas Tech, number 14, West Virginia, followed by North Carolina, Houston, Arizona State, Texas, Oregon, Florida State. I'm surprised they're ranked that low. UCLA makes an appearance in the top 25. Long absence from their appearance. Ohio State, I want to take a look at them because they had a decent team last year, and they seem to be growing. Followed by Rutgers and Michigan, number 25. What do you think about Gonzaga being number 1, Black?
They're always consistent, bro. Gonzaga seems like year after year, there's a certain type of player that they kind of recruit and come there, and they seem like they just got that pipeline just constantly working. When I hear you say Duke and Kentucky's kind of further down, the one and dones may not be hitting this year in college basketball. That's what it says to me. There ain't many one and dones out there. So in a way, that's going to make for a better season. If it ever gets started and get going, less one and dones. Now these teams are just focused on kind of playing that are highlighting these players that's not going to be there the following year. So I think that's going to work. I think it's going to actually work out better for college basketball.
Okay. Black, I started to text you during the boxing match with Ortiz with the heavyweights because I know you like the heavyweights. But before I could get the text out, the fight was over. Somebody got hit with a bicep, Ice. He said he got blacked out. And then Ortiz was sitting there with a robe on. And they're like, okay, what happened to the fight? Can you explain this before we go to the Haney-Gamboa fight, which was a much better fight? And I'm really impressed with Haney. But before that, the Ortiz fight, bro.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you don't know. Things happen. Unless you've been in the ring, you ain't know all the muscle spasm. All I know is you told me about the fight. I said, all right, I got a little time. I run, jump in the shower. By the time I came back, he said it was over. I said, what the hell? What happened? Like, my shower wasn't that long. I'm expecting, they do all the hype and everything. Walk-ins and everything, all the hype. And I saw they putting Ortiz with the robe on in the corner.
I was shocked. It's free TV. You don't get too many fights on free TV. And then all of a sudden, the fight's over and the news comes on. And I'm like, we were cheated. We were just cheated. Fight.
Boxing does it to you again, doesn't it? It just does it to you again, baby.
Heavyweights are turning into bums. They're turning into bums again.
Boxing's like, look, what you want us to do? We gave you the free TV. We can't help you win fast. What you want me to do? Put on Survivor.
Can't complain. It was free.
Let's go from CBS and borrow Survivor series and put it on. Yeah.
But the lightweight championship with Haney versus Gamboa. This is actually my first time seeing Haney, Ice, and I'm really impressed. 21 years old, and he doesn't fight like he's 21 years old. He fights like a seasoned veteran. And Gamboa, 37, 38 years old, might be time to kind of put the gloves up. Talk about this fight a little bit.
Yeah, well, the reason why I think that they chose, Haney's folks chose Gamboa, because they know that Tank Davis fought him and what Tank Davis did, and they wanted to show if they could really make quick work, faster work of Gamboa, then people were like, oh, this is the new guy. Haney was almost perfect. He was right there moving forward, very in the pocket, precise with his punches, and Gamboa oftentimes was a target just being hit. But I think he has a little ways to go, and I just hope that his team is not pushing him too fast, because you got all those other names up there. You got Lopez, Lomachenko. You got Ryan Garcia. I mean, so many others that are right there that I hope that they're not pushing Haney too fast. He's a champion, he's a young champion, but they want to get that money real quick. And so they're talking a lot of stuff. In fact, to the point where Haney's like, he had opportunity to supposed to be fighting Lomachenko, but Lomachenko chose Lopez instead. He's supposed to be like the contender, the number one contender for it. So it's a lot of bad blood there. But I think they should cool their heels a little bit. He was very impressive. He moved around, but you could just tell there were things he was just like, he was missing. He was young. He just looked young. When a young fighter's he doesn't show the maturity yet because he has some things to work on. Yeah, I think they should hold off for a couple, maybe a couple fights, maybe another year before you jump in there with somebody big, because I'm telling you, if he starts to miss and you can't make certain mistakes against certain guys, and I'd rather see him taking it along slowly and then become a better champion because he's working on his craft, just to jump out there and fight somebody, even for instance, like like a Lopez. That could be a problem. One of the fights you might see down the line depending on what happens, is Haney versus Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
I know they used to spar before, so Shakur Stevenson is gonna when he starts moving up, he's gonna start calling people out, and he's not afraid to fight anybody. So that's gonna be interesting.
Let me ask you this real quick, and then we'll go to the NBA. Will Earl Spence and Crawford ever fight? Because I was listening to Andre Ward yesterday saying that, and there was a group talking about, those group of fighters in that weight class. And he was saying that if it doesn't happen, that Crawford will move up in weight to fight some of the other fighters. Do you think it will ever happen?
I think it will, but I think you got to look at it for what's going on in that division. I mean, you got to look at Errol Spence. Errol Spence, he kind of climbed up, right? He got to go the back way to try to get some love. Thurman wouldn't fight him early on. He had to come up, and then once he did get the title and moved up and got the title by beating Porter the way that he did, then now it's like he's on top, and he's gonna take his time. He's gonna choose who he wants to. So that's why Thurman wants to fight him. Like, I'm not fighting you. Remember, I wanted you. You don't want to have anything to do with me. And I think he's on top. But I think the other part of it too is, as much as I like Crawford, and I told you this before, I think he has to show what he can do at 147. You've been looking at him below that. This fight coming up with Kell Brook, who's legit 147, will do some great things there. Also, then after that, Crawford is talking about, or Bob Evans talked about, fighting Pacquiao. I don't know what that does, but I think the money has to be right. I think they will fight. I'm not sure if it's next year or the following year, but I think the money has to be major, and the situation has to be right for Earl Spence, because it's like, why am I going to fight you when I can't make any money? So we might be waiting a while until the crowds come back, or they can secure a situation where you can guarantee big money. One thing they have mentioned, though, which I think is fabulous, really works for Earl Spence and Crawford, is the fact that instead of having it in Las Vegas, they're talking about having it up over at the Cowboy Stadium, at Jerry's World, out there, putting the people in, stacking it in, and doing all they can to promote the hell out of it. And I think a lot of people will come, and then they can make a lot of money, because we know what that pay-per-view is going to be like. It's going to be crazy as hell. But if you do it the way with in Dallas, a lot of people want to see that fight, and it's going to bring a lot of income in. But I think, though, Spence wants the money. I'm thinking he's going to say, I'm not wasting this opportunity to fight you when it's going to be one of the biggest fights ever in boxing, and also in a long time. So he wants to make sure everything is right before he steps in the ring with Crawford.
And that might be home field advantage for Earl Spence, because he fights out of Dallas, and taking Crawford away from Nebraska, where he has most of his fights, might be home field advantage. And I was listening to Tony Bradley yesterday saying that it seems like both of those fighters have their own agenda to make money before they come together. So I'm hoping it's not a fight where they're past their primes and folks, they're just getting the dollar because they're names now, and not the great fighters that they are at their prime. Deontay Wilder, he's giving all these excuses that, it was his trainer. Tyson Fury had gloves that were messed up. And so that's why I said earlier, Black, the heavyweights are bums, because now Deontay Wilder come up with all these excuses on what happened in the last fight and why he lost. And Tyson Fury is moving on, saying, I'm fighting somebody else because you're just not ready yet. What do you think about Deontay Wilder coming up with all these excuses, firing Breland, the suit was too tight or too heavy, and all this other stuff, and he's just coming out with all these excuses, and none of the reasons why he lost is him.
Yeah, realistically, he don't want none of that smoke anymore, bro. He just don't, because when a man beats you, you want to go back and beat the man. The excuse at that point doesn't matter. So him laying down excuses is just really a way to delay the inevitable getting your ass kicked again, as far as I'm concerned. So you don't want none of that. I mean, you would be ready to fight him tonight, whoever your trainer is, because you felt like you lost and you are a better person, you're a better fighter. He has yet to say that. All those excuses says to me is that you want to basically maintain what you believe you established in your name and your brand, which doesn't amount to much right now. If you really want to handle your business, you get back in the ring and prove that you're the better boxer. That's all it is, bro. All that talking is not necessary. He doesn't want it.
Now, you and I have epic debates on the podcast on Deontay Wilder, top 10, and all that other stuff. What do you think about all these excuses he's coming up with, why he lost the last fight? Is it in his head now that maybe I can't beat this guy and I'm just throwing excuses out there so I can get the public back? What's going on with him?
I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe he's trying to defend himself. I've been a huge supporter of him in the past. I would say that. But now I'm just kind of, when he let Breland go, ooh, I kind of did a little side eye because, knowing a little bit about Mark Breland and even knowing him as a person, Mark Breland is really trying to help him win. And then you go to the point of saying that he did some things. Now you're saying that he might have spiked your water? Really?
Yeah.
You said Mark Breland spiked your water? I mean, wow. So you're saying that, and then now you're saying your opponent had gloves that maybe, had something in the gloves could cut you up. All I'm going to say is this. I don't know what's going on, what his mind is like. He hasn't really spoken a lot. I think he has a big interview coming up here pretty soon where they're probably going to try to get some answers to why he's talking the way that he is. But I said this from the beginning. I think this is what he should do. If I'm Wilder's team, I'm telling you this. You already have messed up really fighting Fury next, right? So you can keep pushing forward, try to take people to court, all that other madness. But if I was him, I would say, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to wait. We're going to maybe fight somebody else, or we're going to wait. And then we're going to say, we're going to work on our game, work on whatever we need to do, our new strategy, and then go to Fury and Joshua and say, look, tell you what, y'all can fight next. Cut me a check. I'll wait. I get to fight the winner. That's what I would do. Because you're still getting paid and you're still working on your craft, doing some other things. He can take a little fight if he wants to, tune up, and kind of work on some things and get ready. But that's automatic. You're already getting paid for something that you're going to have to wait on anyway, right? You got to wait on it anyway. So why not get a check and just be quiet and work on your craft? Because right now, that ship is sailed for him. And I think, unfortunately, with all of this, all this extra stuff, it really has put a damper on his career. And now there's none, these excuses do nothing but put you in a bad light. And I say that from a person that admired him, before. Now it's hard to just kind of roll with him because it's like, dude, what are you talking about? What are your plans?
All right, Black, we're talking to NBA right now, and all of a sudden they're going to be playing on the 22nd. And any rumors or potential deals or movements that you've heard this season?
No, I haven't heard anything, man. Like you stated last week, if they don't play, they're going to lose money. And that's why they're rushing back, man. I'm interested to see what's going to happen because even though I know they want to get back and get the ball rolling, I think the way they're trying to do it and the timing, it's just not going to work out well for them, bro. NFL playoffs are going to get started on that week, bro. Shortly thereafter, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah. Other than Paul George, proposing to his fiance, I haven't heard too many NBA stories. I ain't seen the NBA other than the 22nd. It's not a surprise that they're going to be playing on the 22nd. So any other rumors and things you've been hearing in the NBA?
Well, the only thing I'm looking at right now is the draft. I think that's probably the most interesting thing to me, just kind of see how teams going to move forward. In regards to, Paul George getting married and with his ex-girlfriend's baby's mama, whoever the hell it is. But, I mean, no disrespect. But I'm looking at the draft because I think it's going to be interesting because you see with Minnesota having the number one pick, now it's like a smoke screen because they're saying they might take Wiseman. Makes sense. But then they also been saying Ball. They're saying like Ball has been dropping. He said he has been interviewing well. And so he's been dropping. So he might drop all the way down to a team like Detroit who might be trying to move up to get him.
Wow.
They're intrigued by him. But now they're saying Wiseman is saying he really don't want to go to Minnesota because he don't want to play with Towns. Towns already the
Oh, you made
I'm just saying it's kind of like, they really don't want to do that. Now they're saying maybe they're putting that out there so somebody like Charlotte would jump up and try to give a bunch of picks. So then, Minnesota can do something else. And now also saying that at number 2, Golden State is thinking about Edwards from Georgia because they think he can play that wing position. But then 2, they're also mentioning that they're not going to walk away from Wiseman, who I think their pick should be if he's available.
I think that should be the pick too.
Just because he's big, he's mobile, he can move around, and he's what they need. Somebody, and you don't need another damn jump shooter in Golden State, okay? You don't. We know who can shoot. We know who's going to be shooting. You need somebody that can grab the ball, move up and down, play center or power. I like him at power forward. You put Wiseman at power forward and long as he stay healthy, well, that team, and what he's going to learn, he could be good for the next 5 years, man. That's what you want. You want to keep building that legacy.
Black, come on.
I gotta follow this up, bro. How can a scholastic player says, I don't want to play Anthony Towns. You can't be no more disrespected than that, bro. I mean, seriously, you're talking about a cat that's coming in, ain't even in the league, saying, he not saying I don't want to play with the Timberwolves. He said, I don't want to play with Karl Anthony Towns. Bro, you can't, come on, bro. You can't get no more disrespected than that. You can't. It just tells you what the younger demographics and what most of the league believe about Karl. I know he lost his mom, but I'm sorry for that. But keeping it on the court, exclusively on the court, bro, you can't get more of a back smack than that, bro. You can't get more of a back smack. I'm sorry, man. I've never heard somebody come out of college say, I don't want to play a particular player. They might have said a town, a city, an organization, but he came out and named Karl Anthony Towns. That's low, bro. That's low. I mean, that's a real man right there, bro. That's a real man.
Maybe because they play sort of the same position. Give him the bit of
come on now. Come on, man. Come on now.
But it would take a special coach to kind of put that together. It's like why people always said David Robinson and Tim Duncan can play together. You know, bigs can play together when they're passing bigs, but you have, as a coach, has to understand what you have, and you got to let some people play certain positions. But I can see. I don't think Minnesota's going to do that because I think they're trying to. Black Thor loves this part where they trying to get up and down. They trying to bring fans in the stands and build the ball thing. That ain't gonna win no damn games. But that'll get you the people in there. But they ain't winning no games like that. Yeah. But if that's what it takes, and you want to sell some merchandise and some gear, that's great. But if you're a team that's saying you're trying to improve and make moves in the playoffs, it's a new day. So hey, with this COVID and these young people, hell, what do I know? I'm an old dude now. What do I know? It might be the right, it might be the way.
ESPN will be all over the Timberwolves every single night. That bald head cat on ESPN will be showing ball, drinking Gatorade, missing shots every single night, bro. It's. I mean, let's face it, Timberwolves ain't going to the finals anytime soon anyway. I'm real. I mean, just being real. Take ball. I mean, you trying to be. You already got a guy saying want to come there. I don't care what ball is doing is dropping. Hey, take him. Take him. I'm sorry, bro. Timberwolves need to take him. Just take him. Because he's going to bring some excitement. He's going to put you on the map. That's what you can hope for at this point. Because you still got Karl Anthony Towns.
Can't say nothing.
I don't know how well he gonna coexist with the other guard either. With Russell.
Russell, yeah.
Hey, I'll be honest with you, man. I like Russell. Russell done been bounced around so much, bro. Who cares, bro? Who cares? Ain't nobody. There's no one tuning in to ESPN to watch Russell. No one. Let's be honest. No one's tuning in to watch Karl Anthony Towns. Let's be honest. Give him the ball. Do whatever he wants to do. Give him the ball like they did back with anybody else. Give him and move out the way.
Okay. Wow. I don't think he's that good, but okay. No, I understand.
Allen Iverson all over again. Here we go, baby.
What? How dare you?
Hey, what? I'm just saying. What? I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's Allen Iverson. I'm just saying give him the ball like they gave it Allen Iverson. Let him run the team, bro. Because realistically, look what they got for coach. Let's be honest. They can't get a good coach in Minneapolis. Let's just be honest. What do you want to be? You want to be a team that nobody pays attention to? Nobody's excited about Karl Anthony Towns. And I think Russell's a good point guard. Don't get me wrong. Nobody's excited about him. He's been passed around like a hot potato, bro. no one's going to be after the first 10 games. Nobody's paying attention to them. So you want to make money, or you want to basically pay attention to you? Because you won't see their games. You will not see the games on TNT or on ABC or ESPN. You put ball up there, trust me, the young cats will pay attention to him. The young players that are not the young viewers will lock in to watch him on a nightly basis. It's a business. A lot of teams aren't trying to win championships. It's a business. Just telling you.
I mean, that's great, and maybe that's true. But if I'm Minnesota, if I have any inkling of trying to win 2 damn games, I'm not gonna pick a guy that is dominating in the Lithuanian C League. but like you said, if it's about the money, I get what you're saying. They ain't trying to win no damn games then.
Wow. Nobody wants to play with Carl Anthony Towns. Nobody wants to play. And I'll go back to a point you made earlier when you said that the 2 bigs. I agree, 2 bigs can play if you got the right coach. But the mentality of I can't think of his players. We came out of Wake Forest. Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan would have played with anybody, bro. These cats don't have that mentality anymore, man. They don't want to. You know what I mean? They want to be where they can shine. So you bringing them together, he's already not wanting to be there. It's not going to work out, bro. In my opinion, it's not going to work out. You're trying to put all with water. It's just not. I mean, I know a lot of time I take shots at Anthony Towns. Let's be honest, bro. I mean, for me, he has not developed to where he probably should have. And it's not only him. A lot of players that came out of Kentucky, Calipari, look at them. Where are they now? I mean, they were looked at as being coming to the NBA and had all this hoopla. He got them there, but they weren't prepared. And he has not been around. I don't understand in the offseason what he's doing, because there's no way, man. You got so many old legends out there, bro. That can. As much as I knock LeBron, until LeBron got Olajuwon, LeBron was just a one pony shot. We all knew what he did. He wanted to go to the hole. That's when he took his game to the next level. I don't understand why a lot of these players in the offseason spend this time doing all the stuff they do. If you're serious about your craft, you don't have to be Olajuwon. There's many other old players out there. Get with them, learn, soak in that knowledge, understand, improve yourself. Don't come back into the same thing you did for the last 3 years. So Anthony Towns to me has taken no steps. When you can't score 2 points in a playoff game, you did nothing to better yourself in the offseason, bro, you don't deserve to be in the league. And that's just being honest. Sounds harsh, just being honest. So I understand why Wiseman, I don't want to play like that clown. Seriously, what's he going to do for me?
Come on, Golden State. Wiseman to Golden State. The Warriors are back. Black, I'm going to go with you with your question.
I read this, and it boggled my mind so much as I started reading, I just stopped. But the contract for the NFL with ESPN is coming up. And ESPN, and this is why I stopped. I didn't know how long the contract was. But for Monday Night Football, ESPN pays NFL $2 billion. $2 billion for Monday Night Football. So with that being said, it's got to go up this time around. And I'm looking at, is it worth the network? Because now ESPN is laying people off. They're doing all this other stuff to maintain Monday Night Football, where you can turn on tonight and watch the Jets and the Patriots play.
Ice?
I'm not sure if it's worth it, but you already mentioned about money. So that's what even add piggyback on that, add more to that. I heard they're trying to buy the rights to Sunday Night Football from NBC. They're trying to buy the rights. So they're trying to add on to what you're talking about. So they got ESPN as whatever is Monday night, but they're trying to get the rights to Sunday night. Because I think that what they're looking at is they got to entertain people. This is no longer the personality. You can throw them out the door as far as all these people they're paying all this money. They're going back to what it was, as to what got them in the first place, highlights and trying to show you more coverage of the games. And I literally read that where they're trying to find a way to, because that, I guess for a while with the COVID, they had nothing going on. They were showing, raccoon ping pong, stuff like that. They were showing,
championship.
Yeah, going on championships. You know, they just doing all these crazy stuff. So they had nothing really to make you go, okay, why want to watch it over there? So not even saying volleyball because of the COVID. They didn't have that to show. So they're desperate to grab some things to try to make some money back. And with the cuts, I think I literally read that they're trying to find a way to get the rights to Sunday Night Football. So, yeah.
Wow. I hadn't read the article, didn't know too much about it, but yeah, I would agree with Ice about recovering. If they're trying to get Sunday Night Football, and Sunday Night Football has had some, other than last night, has some good games. It seems like Sunday night is better games than Monday night. It's like Monday night this week and last week were like big disappointments because you kind of knew who was going to win. The Giants kind of played a spirited game, but it's like Monday night's not the attraction it used to be to me. But maybe they know something about how advertisers will pay because that's the only game in town. And maybe the schedule makers will schedule better games on Sunday night and Monday night so they can kind of monopolize those two nights. Black, your thoughts?
I'll just say this from the start. They're not getting Sunday night, bro. And I'll tell you the reason why. They're not a major network. Sunday night will always be with a major network. Let's say they're going to put on ABC. NFL will not allow itself to be downgraded on Sunday night to ESPN. It's just not happening. It's just not. And it's going to either stay with NBC or Fox is going to pick up, but they're going to want a major network. You're not telling your viewers now to leave a major network and go to ESPN to watch. I will say this. I don't think it's, I know they're trying to downgrade, and I think ESPN has lost its way, in my opinion. I think they've made some mistakes in the past. Paying Steve, what's his name, all that money, trying to hang on to him when they should have went in a different direction. You know what I'm talking about. The guy that's losing his hairline's way back here is absolutely ridiculous. And they make him out to be the voice now of everything. You know, they show, you go to their website or their app, whatever, Stephen A. say this, nobody cares, bro. You weren't smart enough to understand that. I don't know how they can survive, but I think realistic, if you're serious about cutting back on the money, you don't get them all that money, bro. You just don't. You just can't. You just can't. That's ridiculous. For what they giving you, for $2 billion on Monday night, they don't care about you. That's what they're saying to you. They don't care. They give you the throw-off games. They know the Jets were going to be good this year. They're not going to put them on Thursday night because Fox wouldn't tolerate that. They wouldn't tolerate that. So they're basically looking at you as that they don't even value your slot and viewership to have their product there. So I wouldn't be surprised if ESPN moved them away from ESPN. I mean, on Monday night. If you get, in my opinion, if you get CBS or Fox to commit to putting them on Monday night,
the games would be better.
Yeah, they wouldn't even be on it. They would not even be on ESPN. And the games would be better on Monday night. So, yeah, I think they're in a tough trouble. And if they do lose football, what do they have, bro? What are they going to replace it with? Squirrels playing soccer?
Ron, Zion, LaMelo Ball.
Yo, okay. 50% viewership gone.
I never liked the. I think you're right, but I never liked the move to take Monday Night Football away from ABC and put it on ESPN. I never liked that move at all. I mean, I just never. I never understood it, and I never liked it. Ice, what's your question?
Yeah, Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy has been known to be up for a few jobs recently, still doing the job, still putting a lot of work in. Offense is still up when they need to be, as far as Kansas City is concerned. Next year or at the end of this year, it's probably maybe 4 jobs that might be open. So we're looking at possibly Jacksonville, the Jets. You guys mentioned the Chargers and maybe another team. But knowing that that's 4 and maybe even more, what do you think the likelihood percentage-wise that Eric Bieniemy will finally get a shot to be a head coach?
Black?
I'll be honest, man. I'll be totally honest here. I don't think his percentage increased that much from last year. I say this, I think he has to market himself better. I just do. I think he got to find a way, his agent, to market himself better and show that he can basically, I think his play calling is phenomenal. I just do. But he's got to show ownership that he can take a franchise. You look at the coach of the Miami Dolphins, bro, and look at Airbnb. see the vast difference? You got to show that you can handle men. And sometimes the men you handle ain't going to like you. But you got to be able to go into an owner's meeting in an owner's office and sell this. And I don't think he's done that yet. I just don't think he's done it, bro. So I'm hoping the best for him. And I know he's going to get thrown out there. But until he walks into, in my opinion, and basically can sell himself, that I can take a franchise. I mean, that's one thing Mike Tomlin did immediately, and that's why he's been with the Steelers for this long period of time. He sold them. I could take a franchise, get them behind me. I mean, he has the luxury, and I'm just being honest, to coach one of the better quarterbacks, and he had the luxury to lean on Andy Reid to do what he has been done. And he's done a hell of a job. But it takes, when you're black, it takes more than that, bro. You got to go in there and show, hey, I can do this. And I'm not sure if he's up to the task. I think he just feels like I've done enough with my offensive prowess of being offensive coordinator, and I don't think that's going to cut it. Just my opinion.
Well, I'll choose two teams. One team I'm not sure because it's in the same division, the Chargers. I think with a quarterback like that and getting a defensive coordinator that could hold teams and make sure that they don't score and beat you at the end of the games. And the other team that I thought about, which there probably will be a vacancy, is Detroit. And it'll be outside of that division that he's in already with Andy Reid. And it gets him away from that and it gets you in the NFC. And Detroit needs a great coach. They need a great coach that can coach that team up. You can see that the talent is there. It's just that the coaching decisions that they're making is not really working. So those are the two teams that I think his stock is still probably the same. I'm not even sure if he can get out of his contract at this particular point because I think he has a couple of years on his contract. I may be wrong about that. But, yeah, I would say the teams, I think his stock is still high, depending on who he can get to coach with him and help manage that team. Maybe some veteran coaches that can help him along. I'm pretty sure he learned a lot from Andy Reid. And if you look at Belichick's coaching tree versus Andy Reid's coaching tree, Andy Reid's coaching tree is much better, and they've won many more playoff games than Belichick's. So he's coming from a good coaching tree, and so I'd be willing to bet on him coaching the next franchise wherever he goes. Please don't go to the Jets. You're wasting your time with the Jets. But Ice, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think he's capable. I do. I mean, because I look at some of the coaching changes that have been made, and I think some of the hires that have been made, and you just kind of scratch your head like, how did that guy get this job? And you always talk about these retreads, but this is a guy that I think he deserves the opportunity. And granted, it's just something that should take place because a lot of these teams are bad. I mean, I understand what New York is about and the whole thing about the Jets and it's New York City and all, but you hired Adam Gase when we know what happened down there. Not only did you do that, you hired him and you made him the general manager. You turned the team over to him. He must have some documents on somebody. Seriously. Because how the hell you do that? You watched that dumpster fire down in Miami. You watched it, and it never got better. And then all of a sudden, oh, New York is going to make this great announcement. Okay, that was the announcement? And I was just surprised by that. But I think he deserves a chance, an opportunity. It just depends on whether or not somebody gives him a chance. The other thing, too, is I do think he would need to have if I was him, I would have a really deep and tight staff of talented individuals so he wouldn't have to carry all of the weight the whole way. One team I thought would be pretty decent for him, and I'm not sure if they would or not, but it's Houston. I think he could do well in Houston. Mm-hmm. You give him Deshaun Watson, and finally stop giving players away.
Yeah.
And getting a foundation, drafting and you mentioned Detroit too. If you go to Detroit, you have to get him a running back.
Yeah.
You can't just play musical chairs. This week we had Adrian Peterson last week. Next week it'll be Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk coming out of retirement, playing football for the damn Lions. I'm serious.
Yes.
Is Barry available?
Yeah.
Seriously. So I mean,
good, but he ain't ready yet. He's all right, but he's not ready yet.
Yeah, but I mean, you just have to take care of the guy. You have to put him in a position where he can really work with it. Now we talk about him having a good back in the homes and having all those things that weapons at his disposal, but that's part of the game. You got to have weapons to make things happen. So hopefully, if he does get a shot, they make sure that they take care of him and put some talent around him. So I like him. I think he has talent. I think he could do a good job with the right staff behind him because you got to need time to grow. Nobody just comes in and is dominant. You just don't see that. I mean, you talk about Tomlin, but you got to have time to grow a little bit. It's just what needs to happen all of the time, for sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got distracted by Cam just getting smashed by a linebacker coming in and hitting him. And the Jets are winning 13-7 against New England. Oh my goodness. Black, your second question, man.
I heard this on the radio today, man, and it kind of fits with that question in a sense. Tony Dungy was asked by what's the guy who plays the Jets? Give me the damn ball. I can't think of his name right now. But he was asked by him. He said, "I know you're missing the itch to coach. You ever think about getting back into coaching?" And Tony Dungy replied, "Well, the reason I stayed out, I didn't want to take a job from another African American taking that coaching job." He said, "Well, if you came back, you can hire assistants and give them opportunity." He said, "That's something I got to consider." So with that being said, the man seemed like he's been out there thinking, can you see Tony Dungy coming back and coaching another NFL franchise?
Ice?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, if he's the guy that we really think he is based on his principles and all, I mean, this game has changed. We got a lot of prima donnas, guys looking all cute, don't come to practice. They cussing people out. It's all about, them and their flash and on the phone on doing texting, the internet, going live in the locker room. I mean, Tony Dungy old school, man. Tony Dungy's why one of the it was mentioned before that Tony Dungy was one of them old school African American quarterbacks in college that had to make his way through. Then he came back, ended up finding his position as a safety / quarterback in the league, right? So he's had to do it the hard way. So I'm not sure. He might say that it sounds good. The right offer would have to be right, and he probably would have to have a little bit more control because, dude, this league right now, I mean, also too, the thing that's changed more than anything, if he comes back and because he was a defensive guy, we mentioned before that hell, you can't touch nobody on defense now. Everything is about points. Everybody's scoring points. So why would you want to come back to a league where you get up on a guy and you mentioned about earlier about Hill, them staying 5 yards off of Hill, because you can't hit him. It's against the law to hit him. It's like, whoa. I mean, back in the day, you touch somebody, whatever, you could bump them, whatever, but it clearly has turned into an offensive game because people want to see points. They want to see points and they want to move forward. So that's what I see. I don't know. I think it would have to be a special situation. And he got a cushy job, man. He just come on TV, say something crazy as hell. He get rags a little bit on Twitter and going back to his business next week. That's hard to give up, bro. Walk away just for some drama. I don't know. Y'all run the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, he won one.
Yes. I mean, what else is it? Why?
If any old school coach could come back and do it, I think he could because he's old school, but he can relate to players. And I say that because there have been a few players who got in trouble in the league, and who do they go and talk to? Tony Dungy. And he gets them back in the league. He has those connections where he can talk and relate to people and engage people. I love what he does now, and if he continues to do that, I would still watch him. I love his insight on games. But if he went to coaching, I would follow him because even though he's old school and he's a very religious man, he just seems to be able to connect with players. I don't care how old they are or how wayward they are. He seems to have that connection, that human touch that you need to be a coach. Black, what are your thoughts?
I think Tony. I think he'd be more effective staying where he is and speaking ownership, bro. He has a lot of ownership ears, and I don't think that he realized Like you say, he talked to players. I don't think he's done enough. Well, I shouldn't say he has done enough. I don't seem like he's lacking. But I think there's more he can do behind the scenes to create more opportunities than actually coming back being on the field being a head coach. And I think if he starts to take that role more, I mean, you're right about the players, but these owners, they love Tony. I mean, sit down with them and find out why they're not giving these guys opportunities. Right? You know, strike up some deals or strike up something to where he can make it a little easier. And I think he'd be more effective, man. I'm with Ice with this one, but the game has kind of changed, bro. Some of these players come in, they don't want to be some kind of man that's in religion. They don't want that, bro. They're trying to get theirs, and it's going to be a headache. The player's mentality has changed. He has Super Bowl. There's nothing to come back and to do that, go do that. You're taking yourself away from your wife, your family, your grandkids. You're, like I said, you have something very good going on, but you can do more in your position to move that needle in that field than basically running back out there and holding a clipboard, bro. And I just think at his age, to have the game has moved on, it would not be a smart move.
I kind of look at him. I agree with you. I kind of look at him. I love what he does in college football. I mean, I just love what he does. The Clemson Notre Dame game, he did a great job, and I've heard him commentate other games like that. But to me, you have Mark Jackson, who's the religious guy, and then you have Tony Dungy, who's not going to push his values on you like maybe a Mark Jackson in basketball did with the Golden State Warriors. And it seems like he's more flexible. Do you think that, Black?
No, he is. He is. Mark Jackson, man. I don't even remember when he was coaching Golden State. He sent a couple of his assistant coaches away, bro. You know, it was rumors he made a homophobic slur, all type of things, man. And Mark Jackson him and Tony are not even the same levels, bro. As far as being coaches, they're just not. Tony has more of a passive way of dealing with you. Mark was much more harsh and aggressive, and was basically trying to convert. If you didn't like what he was standing for, you would try to twist your arm into it. And ownership just didn't like it. And I think, you know, at some point that got out. And, you know, he ruffled a lot of feathers in Golden State. And when you have another cat comes in and takes over and they flourish, people just don't forget that, bro. It'd be a different story if he won, and he could talk about who team it was. Again, that was Jerry West's team. But it'd be a different story if he got them to a certain place, because you almost look at it like, I look at the coach now that the Knicks just hired. And to me, I don't know why, but he finds a way to smooth these owners into believing what he did in Chicago was something great, and they want him to kind of repeat it everywhere he's going. He has shown he can't do it. But Mark Jackson didn't get to that level. He just didn't. He was trying. So you can raise some hell when you're winning. But when you ain't winning, you can't raise that hell, bro.
All right, final question, Ice.
Yeah, we're getting close. We don't know when the Super Bowl is going to take place, but we're getting in the second half of football. College basketball will be coming up. NBA basketball will be coming up in December. But somewhere in between, it's going to be like a little lull, so we won't be we're not overcome by a lot of sports. So with all that being said, and we're changing, the election is going to be, or has been finalized or whatever, these changes have been made. Do you think that there's going to be a drop-off, or there already is a drop-off of the support of the Black Lives Matter movement in professional sports moving forward?
Black?
There was no movement. Drop was not moving, bro. You can't, I mean, and I'm not saying this because I cover the WNBA, but other than the WNBA, bro, there was no movement. Those ladies, and I'm not talking about this year, they've always been kind of saying and pushing it out there. You can't jump on the bandwagon now, NBA, NFL, and call it a movement. There's not. So I think that's a falsehood in my sense to kind of even think there was. So drop off, yeah. We'll see when they come back December 22nd what the NBA is doing, talking about Black Lives Matter. Black what? I mean, let's be honest. They're done with that, bro. You don't have one player even flying a microphone saying nothing about the cause right now. Nothing. NFL, I don't know if I can promo commercials in the NFL anymore. I don't know if I see it. So, no, I think where this country is going to kind of turn and go on itself, the movement itself is going to move. But I would be an idiot to sit here and think that sports right now plays a role in that at all. It never had. I think one of the best things I remember this. I was thinking this other day, man. When you said when Black Men Talk, when you talked about for years, when we believed that Jim Brown and the rest of those cats was trying to do right by Muhammad Ali, and they wasn't. You know how long that lie lived for, bro?
Right. Yeah.
A long time. You exposed that, bro, to us. So imagine all the lies that's going on now. Realistically, they don't care. It's all about this. So fall off, it never fell on.
If it's not trending, they're not going to say anything. It was trending when they were trying to come back. And so for me, it was smoke and mirrors. For me, it was smoke and mirrors. Folks, they were talking about the vote and all that other stuff. That's all well and good. But did I pay attention to them? No, because they weren't part of the movement. The people that were out in the streets, who were protesting, who were marching, who were going out doing the work, who weren't on the ESPN and ABC talking in between timeouts about the movement, who were out there actually doing the work, that's the movement. They were just jumping on the bandwagon because it was trending. And that's my personal opinion. Ice?
Yeah, like you said, in regards to like the NBA, you saw them with all the Black Lives Matter stuff they had on the court and the jerseys and all that other stuff. I'll say this, it really reminded me of, as you mentioned, trending, those causes or the campaign that we in America like to jump on every other year or every 2 years. We are the world, world hunger, AIDS. No disrespect to any of these causes. AIDS, world hunger, killing kids in Africa. It just goes, okay, drugs, war on drugs. And we, every once in a while, we'll come up with this thing and we'll jump on it. And it's trending and everybody's, the athletes coming, the musicians doing whatever, everybody's going on and, whatever it may be. And then it falls off. And I think the same thing is going to happen here. As you mentioned, Puma, I've said that even though Black Men Talk, that the one thing I'm so impressed by is by the young people and their efforts and what they're doing. Those are the real heroes and sheroes, man. I mean, because in our generation, we didn't do it, man. We talked amongst ourselves, or we silently, or we together as a small groups did it. But when you walk the streets, bro, all kind of people, and then that point of it where you see when stuff got real, when the police are coming for them on bridges and different places, and they go white people to the front. Come on, man. Come on. I couldn't believe it. I was like, where they do that at? But more and more, these young people have shown me that they want to change the way that they live, and they want to live in a certain kind of way. And I applaud that. And Puma, I applaud you, man, for going down there and do what you do, man. Everybody can't do it, but the fact that young people come to you and for guidance and whatnot, and you not only talk the game, you was in the game, baby. So I appreciate that, because it showed that, and that's a lot of them need, man. They need us to keep, I can talk about it, but you was doing it, bro. So yeah, I hope that continues, because they literally are going to be able to change the way that they live, the world that they live in.
Yeah. When I told you guys on Black Men Talk, there's something different that's happening. Mm-hmm. We were in school, it was apartheid, and divesting out of South Africa with Yvonne Walker Taylor. But this was something different. And it was a mixture of diverse people that, we talked just about the election. It was a diverse group who made this happen. And you know what? Give the orange one, Arizona, Nevada, all that stuff. End it. It's already over. It's already over. Once Pennsylvania and the folks in Philly, did their thing, it's over. So, but yeah, it was the younger people, and hopefully they do it in these Senate races in Georgia. Not to get too political on the sports show, but The movement needs to happen with Georgia. I had a friend from Georgia say, move down here so you can vote, so we can get these 2 senators in and do some things in this country. So I don't think I can move to Georgia in that quick a time and become a citizen. But if I could, I would do it temporarily and then move back. But yeah, it's the younger generation that they see what's up, they see what's going on, and they have finally got to a point where it's like, you know, we don't want to live the way that we've been living the last 4 years. So we got to go out here. If it is going to change, if it is to be, it's up to me kind of mentality. And so I love that in them. I love that in them. And anything I could do to help them and help guide them and give them more information so that they can go out there and do the work. I always told them, got your back. Last second shot, Black.
Real quick, man, I'm going to kind of go back to Georgia where you were, because I know I spoke about this 4 years ago. There were 650,000 Black Americans in the state of Georgia alone that were not registered 4 years ago. And Georgia had a serious uptick from the registered voters this time around. I gotta believe a big part of that was those that were not there. And I'm gonna tip my hat to them, because finally they got up and did the right thing. And like I said, man, you know, my last second shot go to you, bro, because, you know, you were out there, bro. You were out there, you heard the calling, you heed the calling, you do what you had to do.
I appreciate it. Got to give shouts out to the sister in Georgia who ran for governor, didn't make it, but she was working behind the scenes, working with organizations and programs, getting this together. Man, I think her last name is Abrams.
Yeah, Stacy.
Stacy, yeah.
Yep.
Shout out to her. Ice, last second shot.
Yeah, I was kind of torn. I was going to talk about a little basketball, Mike McClung going to Texas Tech, being eligible and stuff like that. But with all of these changes that we're seeing, I think it's important for not just young athletes, but it's important for all young people to realize what they're capable of. And I hope that we see more athletes and more younger people choosing to make their own choices, not be so caught up in how much money they're going to get, what kind of TV contract there's going to be. What I mean, particularly talking about maybe landing in places like historically Black colleges. Because one thing that people don't understand, if you never attended a historically Black college, let me let you in on a little secret. Everybody's not ready to go to the Ohio State University that comes from the inner city from around the way. Everybody's not ready to go to Miami University, Oxford, Ohio, and these big schools. For those that are available and ready, great. There's people like myself that struggled, never would have been at Ohio State in a million years. But I landed at the Wilberforce University. And they allowed me to grow as a person, grow as a man, and went on to get another degree as well. So the whole point of that is there's some quality at HBCUs, great quality, and we care about our people. And not saying other people don't, but before you just throw something away and may not say it's a good choice for you, I guarantee you, if you do decide to go there and it's the right school and the right situation, you will make friends for life. Ask Puma.
Yeah. Yvonne Walker-Taylor said this in orientation, the president of Wilberforce University when I was there. She said, if you can make it at Wilberforce, you can make it anywhere. And she said that as a springboard to we're going to shape you. We're going to put excellence in you so that you don't have to take a backseat to anybody. And so look at Kamala Harris from HBCU, Howard University, in the White House. Excellence. That's our show. We will see you on the picks. Ice is, I think, jumping ahead in the picks. Might be jumping ahead in the picks. Black, you got to go back to coach.
Spirit Airline, baby. Spirit Airline.
Once again, thank you, sponsors. Thank y'all, baby. Thank y'all. I might bring the roll back out. What
was the word, Black, you were saying Wednesday?
Redemption.
Yeah, I told the band wait a little while. We ain't ready yet. We ain't ready to come yet. We ain't ready.
I'm gonna have to pull out the cognac for this. If I'm in the lead, oh man. The smoking jacket is back, baby.
Oh yeah, bring the Muhammad Ali smoking jacket. The champ is here. We'll see you Wednesday.
Call me.
Oh,
look, call me.
Yeah. Week 10. We at week 10. I never thought we would make it to week 10.
I'm still in Puma earlier, man. The show's up on Spotify, Ice.
Okay.
Black Man Talk. Finally made it up there, bro.
I got it
So
down.
be posting soon to where it no longer be on Facebook. That's where you got to go to find it. And yeah, we made it up, bro.
Okay, that's cool because there's a lot of opportunities there. I know,
Yes,
you know, just to be able to. That's the way. That's the way. You know, what I mean? Major shows are there, and you can just point people to where they need to be. People fly. I mean, I love Spotify, man. I mean, I look at a lot of other things. Huh?
I never used Spotify.
Really?
You gotta get on
man.
Spotify, bro. I know what you're waiting on.
I mean, those other things, I don't know. I mean, what is it? What's the other options?
Pandora, yeah.
Spotify. And one thing I like about Spotify more than anything, I don't know, you can do it on Pandora or not. I never really had the opportunity to do it. But I know on Spotify, they let you create your own playlist, bro.
Yes, sir.
And I was like, that is like, I got people following me on my slow jams. You know the fuck? I'm serious. I got people like, yeah, you know?
Yes.
So, I mean, to that alone, to be able to control what you listen to, like, I mean, I've been places, people like, man, I need some music. Oh, what you want to listen to? I'm like, all right, I got you. I got you 4-hour setup. What you want? You want some slow moving, grooving? You want some Steely Dan? You want some jazz? You want some straight house? Dude, this is like the greatest thing. I love Spotify because, I mean, I have playlists that I'm sitting around. It's to the point now, if I'm listening to a DJ, I hear a song, you know, I Shazam real quick, peep it, throw it on my playlist.
Same here.
Oh, dude, it's like,
Same here.
it's like, it is amazing. It's like, it's always something new, all the new stuff. So even though I'm not carrying around something, my own private thing like you did with the iPods and all that stuff, if you got a phone, you can be anywhere in the world. You plug in, bruh.
Yes.
I mean, and I mean, like you want straight Isley Brothers, you get everything. They got everything, bruh. They got that. They got the instrumental versions. Like I just peeped. I had not heard it before, but the song, the instrumental part of it was "The World Is Yours" by Nas.
Mm-hmm.
The Q-Tip remix. Oh my God.
It's nice, man.
Oh man.
I love the playlist, and it's like you said, you can add all the stuff you want. And if you basically, I was telling Pooh, you don't have to basically pay if you don't want to pay. But if you pay the $10, you get no commercials. Your playlist can run for 5-6 hours, bro. Put it on shuffle, and it's just like, come on, man. You know how I use it. But I'm just gonna go there. But I'm just saying that.
Are you on Spotify?
Yes. I mean, I don't know what Pooh's waiting on, bro. You know, you gotta get on there now.
I'm gonna tell you this.
I'm using like the other listening device I have. I'm not gonna give them any pub, but yeah, I do that and I'll play my playlist. But yeah, I just I've heard about it, but I've never locked into it.
Hey, Black Thor, you better check me out, man. You better check me out. Hey, I got a playlist for one of them things you talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the playlist. It's called Music That Make You Want to Call Somebody. It's hot, baby. It's hot. You think I'm playing? You might want to check it out.